usually source a particular object that's kind of interesting to me, like a key or a towel or like a wine rack, and then would kind of spend some time just like looking at it and then juxtaposing it with different objects that I might have in the studio and seeing about what its potential could be as like either a narrative object or a sculptural object, or looking at its formal qualities, and then it tends to kind of expand from that and other things are drawn in, so it's kind of like a slow accumulation process, and like do a lot of formal arrangements and then seeing how they can cross over with other pieces of work and like building up like a lexicon almost of different objects. One of the pieces is called Pulley, and it's 2 pairs of legs that are cut from my own, like drawn around myself, and they're kind of held apart by 2 G-clamps, and in between them is suspended a cauliflower that's kind of bound in string, and it's wrapped a bit like a globe, like a royal globe. It's cast in a big block of plaster, so it's like a weight or like something, a force. It's very much about forces and counterbalances, and it kind of has references to a Cotin painting, or I think about Newton, Isaac Newton. I don't know exactly in what way, but I kind of think about things moving up and down, but how to present that in a static format. I use a lot of found images that might come from artworks, and so I might use like a Picasso or a Matisse, something like that. And as much as I might use the actual image as like collaged into a piece of work, I would also then use a particular like curve or a colour scheme. I think I really kind of make the work to be interacted with. Like I think a lot about the space around a piece just as much as like what happens kind of inside of it. And I kind of did an exhibition where I tiled the whole gallery space, and it was as much to kind of give an aesthetic thing for the work, as well as like one of the gallery directors used to wear really high heels, and so it was really nice that she would make this kind of sound like as she would walk across the space, so it was as much for her to interact with it as well as for like a visual thing. So there's always something quite bodily about how I kind of situate a work. And that's very much for people to, even if they don't know that's kind of set up for them, that's always there. Like everything's kind of tailored to fit a particular space. Like if I have a model for something, how it might be in the studio, and then you might make it in the space, but it not quite work just because of the dynamics of the room, then I think it's important for me to redo it so that it's made for the situation, and it's much about those people passing through as the actual space. The kind of objects or the way that I might put something together needs to have a sense of like openness or blankness in a way that I think that's maybe the way I might use a key, something like that, is that it's just what it is, but it's not dressed up or it's not acting up, it's just kind of acting as it would do. Things aren't really, there's no kind of deception about the objects, they're quite just doing what they are. So, and then everyone has a relation to those kind of objects.